Giant monsters versus giant robots. Hell yeah, let's talk about it.
Today we face the monsters that are at our door. Today we are canceling the apocalypse.
Pacific Rim is directed by Guillermo del Toro, and that should get you excited because Guillermo del Toro is a visual expert. Even if you don't like his movies, his visuals in them are amazing. The man knows how to shoot a movie. I was super pumped for this. I'm a huge fan of his. I love pretty much every movie that I've ever seen that he's made, and this was no exception. Pacific Rim kicks major ass. Now, the story of the movie is there's this portal that's in the Pacific Ocean which links this alien world with our world, and they send these monsters up through this portal to come and wreak havoc and just basically take out the Earth. So we start fighting back, and once we realize that this is never going to stop, we have to build these giant mechs, which are called Jaegers, and we use these in defense to fight the monsters. Now, these Jaegers are super badass, and one thing I loved about the movie is you need two people to operate them. It's too much for one human on their brain to actually operate this piece of machinery, so they have to have two people, and they link them together, which they call drifting. And it basically links the brains up. You get into the other person's head, you get to see all their memories, and you link together, you sync up, you act as one, and then you can operate these Jaegers to go fight the monsters, which are called the Kaiju. Now, the one thing I wanted to see, and the one thing that anybody should have wanted to see going into this, is monsters versus robots, and you just want to see some badass action, and this movie 100% delivers. I had super high expectations for this because this is a little different for Guillermo del Toro. He's done Hellboy and all that, but something this large and on this scale, I mean, this is huge. These monsters and robots are massive. It is unbelievable how big these things are. I mean, they're moving super slow in the movie because it just shows how big they are, and he does such a good job illustrating that because he does these perfect camera angles and zooms out enough to where you get to see the robots and the monsters fighting, and the way they move, I mean, everything is just like these slow motion punches coming over and these awesome movements, and it's illustrated perfectly. And the action in the movie was shot so well. You get to see everything as it's happening. It's not like Transformers where you're zoomed in and everything's shaking around and you're trying to make out what's happening. You get to see everything happen, you get to see every hit get delivered, and the cool thing about this too is as these two people are fused together inside the Jaegers, they're constantly going back and forth between their movements inside the head of the Jaeger and then what the Jaeger's actually doing. So it's really cool how they show the movements of them working together and then they show the Jaeger perform that. Now, they have a story to the movie as well, obviously, to keep it going along, but the real thing here is the action and getting to see these Kaiju and Jaegers square off. The story is something that we've seen before. It's just a very comfortable story for them, something that they just have to push the movie along, and the acting's good. Idris Elba is awesome, and Ron Perlman does a fantastic job, but everybody else is there to just help push the movie along to get us to the next action sequence. And they offer some emotional connections between characters in the movie. You don't really grab onto it, but it's enough to make the characters a little bit more interesting so you can get inside their heads a little bit, so they're a little more fleshed out. One thing I really love about Guillermo del Toro is he likes to do things that are a little unexpected. You know, some things are predictable where you can see where it's going, but he likes to throw things in his movie that catches the audience off guard, and it's either a shock or you get a good laugh out of it, and he definitely has some of those thrown into this movie, and they're perfectly timed out. Now, I say this is a movie you should definitely see in 3D. I didn't see it in IMAX, but the 3D was really good. You got a lot of depth, and when you're out in these water scenes, we're out in the ocean, I mean, it just looks like you're looking deep into this ocean as these sequences are going on, and it looks really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed Pacific Rim. This is the definition of a summer blockbuster. You want to go into a movie, have a good time, have fun, and that's what this movie delivers. It hits it on the ball perfectly. This is definitely a movie that needs to be seen on the big screen. I absolutely loved Pacific Rim. But what are your thoughts on Pacific Rim? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the movie. If you like this video and you want to see more, click right over here to check out some more of my videos, and you can click down below to subscribe to my channel or check me out on Facebook. That's a wrap for now, but until next time, keep it groovy.